What's going on, fellas? Bel Baller here, back with yet another replay review. Today we're looking at another South American player, as we're going to immediately get physical with the Stramic here. We're on board with Wisty. You may or may not have heard of Wisty before. He was fairly new to me, but for a little bit of background, spent last season playing with W7M Esports. That is alongside two other great South American players who I might get to in a future video. But Wisty here, been watching a lot of film on him, really enjoyed his whole Spring Cup performance, to be honest, and that's where we find ourselves here. This is actually the grand finals of the Spring Cup against Ninjas in Pajamas, a team that we're very familiar with. And the reason why this Spring Cup run was so illuminating about the talent that was on this roster was because they took down a lot of teams we're really familiar with to get here. They swept Crew Esports, they beat Team Secret, and they did unfortunately end up losing this Grand Finals to NIP, but it took 7 games to get there. So this team, and Wisty especially, are not playing around. Some highlights from Wisty that I really enjoyed. It's really cool to be on board with him, just to see how controlled he is and aware of his surroundings. Wisty seems to always be in a position to make some kind of play on the ball, as we're just going to get a random doink there in transition to put them up 1-0. But Wisty, just a very composed player, a very smart player, not a lot of full-on whiffs, just has a good read of the play, and I'll try and point out some of those moments over the course of it here as we get a double commit, and Wisty is going to calmly just give a little back pass to his teammate here. But a little bit about Wisty, if you aren't sure kind of where he is within the confines of the RLCS, is he's going to smoothly buy some time here and beat 2 to give his team a little space, excuse me. Wisty walked away from this season with a 1.012 rating, and if you're like me and have no idea what that means, just a quick list of some players that are around him there. Just below Itachi, Aqua, and Justin. Just above Mata, who we just got a 50-50 on there. Radosin and Parth. He's equal with another South American former NA boy in Shad. And Wisty is a 17-year-old Brazilian, which I don't think I was able to say before. And after all that talking, by the way, beautiful goal here by Wisty, as he's just going to take his time to, lull 2 defenders into diving at the ball, and then he's just going to put one away smartly. One of those plays there. But one other thing that we haven't even pointed out, which is certainly the most interesting, is Wisty rocking the pizza wheels and the popcorn goal explosion. Not every day you see that at the top tier of Rocket League, as he's going to give up a whiff there after I said that he never does that. But another thing that stood out over the course of watching film is how physical Wisty can be in a really effective way. Not really as chasey as some of the players that we know from, like, North America, for example. I immediately think of, Comreddles, Arsenal, players like that. But is able to get physical with players to just keep them out of position, like we saw off the kickoff against Stramic way back at the outset. How he is there to try and, deny Bims in transition, as he's going to try an interior pass. It's going to get intercepted. But just, he seems to make a lot of the little plays that end up, being really fruitful for his team. It's not very common that he totally puts them out of position, as our boy Royales is going to get a sick save right there, rocking the RLCS decal. Even a smart 50 out, with no boost. Wisty's just rotating well and everything like that. I've had a lot of fun watching South America over the last couple of days. I know the last video was on Pawn, and now we're looking at Wisty here, as he's going to somehow read the 2v1 transition situation and make the best of it. But I think after this, we might hop over to a little EU, kind of cut in on the ball here, take a smart 50. Just nothing for free against Wisty. But yeah, really enjoyed the 0-second boost. I can't even finish my own thoughts because Wisty is just all over it on the defensive end. But yeah, I've really enjoyed watching some of these players. Interested to watch more South America. It's cool to know that there's so much talent floating around. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the reports, but even Complexity. Hercules has her upcoming event, and in that, CRR and Razeable are going to be trying out with, I think it's pronounced Taizai, a South American player that I've never heard of. So Wisty is definitely among the cream of the crop for those up and coming South American players. Would definitely recommend a watch. Loved his series against Era. Was really cutthroat in that closeout against Crew. But that's it for me, guys. Wisty, hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.